What's good, folks? We're back with a second down. We got Tim back. We got Josh back. We might have other guests. Who knows? Second down, Tim. You know what to do. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, this I just want to say, no disrespect on this part of the quarter. God bless if anybody is going, if you know somebody's going through the same situation that these players are. Randy Gregory, Rolando McClain. I mean, how can I say this, Josh? They're battling demons. These guys were giving not not just one chance, not a second chance, a third chance, chance after chance after chance. That even a guy like McClain, who was out of football for like almost 2 years, Randy Gregory got caught up 3 times using drugs in Nebraska. These guys were giving chances. These guys have great talent that it was giving that chance. And I'll say this, me being around people who has similar type demons, I will say you need the help. But in the business side of somebody keep giving you chance after chance after chance after you already stated that you're gonna want that chance, that you're gonna promise them that you're gonna play. I feel bad for the guys out there who's holding up signs at the stadium, wanted to play, who wants to play football, and a spot is held up on guys who don't really care. So I'll say this to Jerry Jones. He probably will never hear my voice, but these guys don't deserve a roster spot. You're disrespecting the Dallas Cowboys team this year. You're disrespecting the players from back then who played this game. Okay, you're disrespecting even the fan base who really cared about the team. These guys do not deserve to be on a roster spot. They deserve to be away from football and just try to clean and try to make sure their life gets better. Not hold the spot for somebody who really wants it.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan of the team, obviously you want to sit there and try to defend your players as much as you can. But it's pretty respectable of you being a fan of the Cowboys and pretty much stating your stance that you're fed up. You're pretty much just tired of the blown over promises that are just being broken because they really don't give a shit, it seems. And yeah, I agree with you. It is sad because there are people out there that would, they would literally kill thousands of people just to make it to a Final 53, just to be in the National Football League. And those are the people that would grind their heart out and do everything they could for the ownership and the franchise just to help them out in any way they could. And it's very unfortunate because these guys have all the talent in the world, yet they just don't care enough to see that, or they think that their talent is going to trump any wrongdoing that they possibly can do. So I think this is just going to be a kick in the ass to them later down the road when they see what they had, the opportunities they were given after they messed up initially, and yet they continued to mess up. And I think they're going to, obviously have some very, very kick in the ass hindsight down the road. But I agree with you, Tim. I mean, at this point, it's like, how can you put trust in these guys if they're going to continue doing this almost, it seems like, month in, month out, not change, and, keep giving you the same promises that it'll turn around? How are you supposed to trust them? I don't know. You give me something of yours to hold on to for the end of the day, and if you pass your drug test, I'll give it back to you. We're getting into, like, high school shit, so...
Now, before I let Lewis talk, thank you, Lewis, for joining in. I think I have a little advice for them. Now, if you know from making mistakes and not even mistakes, just messing up, it is almost a habit. My advice, you got to change your environment. Like, where you hang out, where you live, who's your friends, your circle, change everything.
Reevaluate who you call friends.
Yeah. Not even reevaluate. Just go to your manager, go to, your organization of this person. Look, get me a new group of friends, a new group of circles, and I'm going to hang with them. I'm going to change the way how I dress, I'm going to change how I eat. I'm going to change where I go. Change your environment completely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my only advice because you
Agreed.
don't have to think. Just change. Lewis, what you got to say, bro?
The one thing I always come back to is everybody here works, everybody has a job, everybody has rules and regulations, whether you agree with them or not, whether they may seem legal to the rest of the world or not. If you work a job in which you're driving, there's no way that you can drink. So it's the same. Like if your job description and rules and regulations and policy says you can't do a certain thing, you can't do a certain thing. If you want to change rules or policy, you got to fight for it. But in the meantime, you have to follow those rules. You have to follow those regulations. If it's a thing about the toughest thing about this is that we're asking kids to become men without having to act grown and not actually like being able to go out into the real world. You're going from school to being a lucrative prospect to like getting everything that they want. They don't know that rules are for them also. And that's the toughest part.
You're breaking up a little bit, Lewis. You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, listen. Lou, it's just like, this is my thing. Before we get to Josh Gordon and Le'Veon Bell, but if you're an owner, and don't get me wrong, I'm a diehard fan. I love Jerry Jones for a lot of what he does, but here's the thing, and this is me not being there. I just know from watching the games on Sunday and reading what goes on. When you're a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, the New York Giants, the Green Bay Packers, those are the few teams who have won in the past couple of years, championships, something that you're familiar with, that now you want to get back to. You don't read these problems that they on their team. You don't read these problems. It's coming too much. I understand, and I'm always for one to give somebody a chance because you have success in that. But my thing is not at all, not so. I mean, it's like 2, 3, or 4 years in a row. Okay, now we're talking about we're going from DeMarcus Lawrence, and he's one of my guys. He got hurt second round. Gavin Escobar second round pick, 26 reception. That was stupid. Okay, now we're talking about now you waste a second round pick on Randy Gregory. Thank God you drafted a lineman in the 4th round. Now Jalen Smith, don't get me wrong, you drafted Jalen Smith only because you felt that those guys were going to do better. Because Jalen Smith's out for at least this year. Hopefully he'll be back next year. So now you taking a risk on a guy who is a leader, whose injury this year, you was hoping that the guys you gave chances to could hold the fork down till he's ready. Now guess what? All of them are down there. So I'm not going to say that the guys on the roster right now behind those guys can step up. You got to pray at least one out of the 3, whether it's the linebacking spot or the defensive line. Jerry Jones has to, and not only that, you're not only wasting your picks, you're wasting Tony Romo's time, you're wasting Jason Witten's time, you're wasting Jason Garrett's time. Those are valuable spots. Now it's time for you to be. If you want to join the conversation, be respected by the media when it comes to the Steelers, the Giants, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Packers. Do what they do. No bullshit. That's it.
Well, you know what, Tim? The problem is what Lewis brought up is that these are kids. These are not people who are a professional in the job or know how to be professional. You know what I mean? So when you take these people who don't really get how to be professional and they get into drug issue time and time again, it's like they need to reevaluate their life or simply change everything they do and their life, and that's it.
We all was young before, as we was all young men. We all had done it, seen it, we did it. The point is, we looked ourselves in the mirror that one day. He says, you know what? I got to change. I got something good. I'm going to change. That's life. That's life. But the thing is, don't waste somebody's time. But at the same time, when you're running a business, when your business is kind of sloping down, you gotta reevaluate your decision making to make your business rise up again. That's the issue. That's the issue. But going on to Josh Norman and Le'Veon Bell, speaking of decision making, I'm sorry. I don't agree if Le'Veon Bell gets his 4-game suspension back. I mean, we lifted. It should stay with 4. Why? Because the first time you did it, the second time we're talking about changing your phone. Now, listen, I know a lot of us. You see Tom Brady going through a cell phone issue, because he didn't give a cell phone. You mean to tell me he needs to get all because he changed his phone number and he forgot? Sean Merriman has said it best on the I believe it was His and Her. He says the NFL calls you 24/7 for a random drug test, and when they call you, no matter where you at, they will call the nearest center for you to go there and take that PP test. And you have to go take the test, and it gets transferred to them. So you mean to tell me this is your job for 3 or 4 years? You didn't think that, you know what? I'm changing my number. I'm not gonna tell my job my new number. Stop it.
I think it was an excuse, to be honest. I think that there was something else that he didn't want to say why that happened. So, I have a new number, and I forgot to tell people that it was an excuse. Whatever the reason is, that was just an excuse.
Per RotoWorld, there's citing information gathered from ProFootballTalk.com that reports there's a strong sense in league circles that Le'Veon Bell is unlikely to win the appeal of his 4-game suspension.
Yeah, he shouldn't. Listen, it's just like DeMarcus Lawrence. I know Josh was going back and forth, and you had some very good valid points. The only thing is I don't put him in the same circle with Randy Gregory and McClain, because this guy, his issue would just be it's a knucklehead decision, something that he probably should have thought of doing if he didn't communicate well with the NFL. At the same time, who's your representative to make sure that if you're taking some type of medication that's like narcotics, but you're prescribed to it, let the NFL know that when you take this test, this may come up. So it was basically not being you just didn't handle your business correctly. But I won't put him in the same category as these guys trying to get another chance. But how you guys feel about Josh Gordon coming back to Cleveland Browns? I feel it's a desperate move to get him back. They need him. He needs them. Hopefully, with this chance he's getting, he will fulfill it. And if he does what he's supposed to do, I like the tandem between RG3, Josh Gordon, and Corey Coleman. I like it. That's the Baylor connection right there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's crucial for them. And I mean, in a fantasy world with Cleveland management right now, they're just licking their chops thinking about a 25-year-old Gordon coming along with a Corey Coleman freshly drafted out of college. And do they still have Andrew Hawkins over there? He was still a little beast, too, with the receiving game. So definitely, I mean, I kind of have more faith in Gordon and turning it around, too, with the drug issues for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's more of like a gut feeling to me, and like the body language that I see coming from Gordon, where I picture him realizing, finally opening his eyes and realizing that he has effed up twice majorly, and now he's getting like the third and only last chance in the NFL, and if he messes this up, he is done for a career like Justin Blackmon is. So I think he finally pulls his head out of his ass, and he finally sticks straight, finally gears towards the NFL, gets his full focus going, and he actually does, make some pretty good strides this year with the Browns, despite not having a real, we'll call like a top 10, 15 QB for the season. But we'll have to see how RG3 pans out over there. I don't even know if it's, guaranteed that he's going to be the starter for the year. So I'm kind of hesitant to see, Gordon's production based on that. I don't know who he's going to be linking up with for the year. So, but I do have faith in Gordon turning it around, and I do have a good sense that he'll play all 16 games. Well, after suspension, he'll play the full season of the 10 games, or 12 that he's going to play.
All right, I think we said as all that's been needs to be said in this quarter. I'm sorry, in this down. We'll be right back, folks. Is there anything else to say, Tim?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, we'll be right
Yes, sir.
back, folks. The next and the final down. We'll be right back.
Cheers.